Hey guys, what's going on? It's Powerbang here, and I'm excited to bring you guys the latest war recap with Emphatic Elite. You're going to see a few things that might look a little different to you or a little bit off on this video. I apologize for that. It turned out to be more of a kung fu movie than an actual recap. I had a ton of recording issues today, guys, and I beg your pardon, your forgiveness. I spent about 8 hours working this today for you guys. Maddie doesn't even know it yet, but in addition to the sound issues that I had with my capture card, initially we re-recorded again another time doing the same exact thing, and then I had a corrupt video file this evening when I went to render. It tried to condense 30 minutes into 7, so it was very glitchy, very poor quality. So I decided to take the audio from the new, the video from the old, splice them together, come up with something that was decent enough quality to pass, but you're going to see a yellow smiley face over my mouth, so it doesn't look too much like a Bruce Lee film. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoy. Without further ado, let's bring you guys WHF versus Emphatic Elite. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Powerbang here, bringing you the next war recap. This was an arranged war, a special event for Halloween. It probably wasn't, but whatever. We matched up with Emphatic Elite, who is represented here on the channel today by clashing with Maddie's YouTube channel. Maddie's here, so say hello.
Hey YouTube, what is up?
Awesome, man. So we had a pretty good war. We didn't bring it as much as we would have liked. Um, we talk more about that in a little bit, but what did you guys think of the war over at EE? Give me some of your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we always love our range wars. It was an amazing one for us. I want to say that I don't think the score accurately represented the war. I think that there was, which you'll see in a bit, there was so many near misses by you guys, and we had quite a few fails as well in the first hits. So yeah, it felt like it was a lot closer. But I wanted to say thank you to you, Powerbang, and your guys for matching up with us and being such a good sport on the collaboration side, and creating this content for our viewers essentially.
No problem, man. It's my pleasure, and it's been a lot of fun to do. And thank you for making yourself available over the last few days. It's been a lot of fun to hang out with you and all the EE guys, and really just hopefully provide some cool content and some cool attacks that the community can learn from. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop into some attacks. First off, I'm going to look at number 8. This is an attack on Revved Up by Eriden, who is over from Emphatic Elite here recently. So really cool attack. He drops in the giant on the mortar up on the right-hand side and drops a healer, just one healer. And that healer is going to bounce back and forth between the Archer Queen and the giant, which is pretty cool. I don't know that he intended that. I think he was just trying to keep it on that giant so the Queen could take out that Dark Elixir drill and then work her way around the south part of the base. But as you can see, that one healer, she's only going to be taking on, 1 point defense at a time. So we'll come back to that in a little bit, but on the top, the King and the Golem have come in with a jump spell, taking out a couple Teslas, hop the wall to an easy Queen kill, and at this point, he's got a Lava Hound that's targeting a bunch of ground troops up there. A few Wizards might, make that a little bit difficult on him later, but does a nice job to just send in some Hogs from all over the base. He's got a million different entry points, but notice on the right side where the healer's at, he sends in 3 Hogs to directly target that air defense, and that is going to take out the pathing to the double giant bomb that's in this base. So that gets taken out just in time. They do run across though and trigger the double giant bomb, which does hit the big group of Hogs with 1. So he missed the timing just a little bit there, but overall just a fantastic raid. All the defenses are down at this point, and the Hogs are stopped in the core to clean out those tough to get buildings. So they get the storages taken down. Unfortunately, the Wizard up top is going to pop that Hound right at the last second, so causing a little bit of grief on some of his Hogs, but overall it's going to be an easy cleanup and a very, very well thought out raid. Really like that healer giant Archer Queen walk. Very efficient.
I think it's one of those things where people always think it's a stock army, like 3 healers on the queen or 4 healers on the queen. But it just goes to really prove the point that actually if you can scout the base play and you can identify that you're not going to get hit by 2 or 3 or 4 defenses at any one point, that you can actually get away. It does take some balls, I might add, but you can get away with one healer on the queen and do a walk like that and come off with her alive at the end. That's amazing. Also like the fact that he just used those trip hogs and just almost swarmed the whole base with hogs, but done very carefully and cleverly. So great raid.
Awesome. Right on. Well, next one we're going to take a look at is number 10. This is an attack by Blue Proud, and Blue is one of our best attackers. Pausing at the beginning of this raid to make a quick note of his kill squad here. He comes with a shattered entry, which normally a shattered entry doesn't get you a huge push, but he does throw in a few Valks, and he smartly uses his heroes here. He has maxed heroes. But watch the value that he gets for his kill squad and how deep in the base he gets, during this raid. So go ahead and click play. So a minion is dropped to help with the funnel on the upper portion there, and then he's got some wizards on the bottom, and that's going to do a great job to create a nice and wide funnel. The only thing that he's going to have to worry about really is that town hall, making sure that goes down. But watch the golems here. He uses his queen to do like this little miniature walk where he takes out the defenses in this first compartment, and then the golems are actually going to walk down the wall to the next archer tower. Just like so, and then that's going to help him with some tanking and then get those wall breakers in to open up the wall for him.
I found that golem look weird because there's actually a wizard tower still left in that compartment, if you see what I mean, down at the bottom.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's weird because I mean, it's quite a few tiles away, that wizard tower, but who knows, man? I've had issues with golems redirecting on some times when I don't want them to, and then others, they do when I don't. It's crazy. But look at the kill squad here. So the king and the queen are both taken out by his kill squad. Clan Castle as well, and then he sends in his king and his Valks. They go in at full health with the heroes already dead, the Clan Castle already dead, and a heal spell is there to receive them in the core. So at this point, he can just send in some hogs. He trails a few to that archer tower, and the goal for those 3 hogs is to take out that mortar before the big group of hogs gets there, and they do just that, and they path around the double giant bomb position by tripping only one of those bombs. A heal spell waits for them, and it's a nice spot anyways because there's a double Tesla. But that queen and king are still up. The king finally uses his ability. It's tanking pretty much the entire backside. Look at the hogs, not even being hit. So he trails in a few backside hogs there to replace those that just got flung from springs. And the only thing that I can criticize is on the bottom. He lets his queen die by leaving that wizard tower up for just a little bit too long. But here I am nitpicking a nearly flawless raid from an attacker that's far better than myself. So, that'll just have to, he'll have to let that slide, I suppose. But really, really nice raid here from Blue.
I think it was an amazing bit of patience from him on the kill squad drop. A lot of people, including myself, dropped the king in just early, trying to get him down, get the raid going in. He waited so long before the king and the Valks went in that by the time they went in, there wasn't much. They almost had a direct route in and didn't get hit for so long that they were, look how far in the base they got and how much value he actually got from them. Just that act of waiting a little bit and being patient on the drop. I think that was that shows the sign of a truly great raider.
Absolutely, that patience is huge, and then also the willingness to create that wide funnel so you can be patient and have your king go into the base rather than walk around. When you finally do decide to drop them. So brilliant job there by Blue.
Exactly.
All right, next one we're going to take a look at is number 13. You might recognize the name on this one. It is Clashing Maddie, and I'm going to hand the reins over to you, my friend, as we did speak a little bit about cold-blooded Laloons earlier in our live attacks. So why don't you take the commentating job away from me on this particular raid and walk us through it. Let me know when you hit play.
Oh yeah, mate. I can't wait to
I'm sure.
to talk about how I got 3-starred. Yeah, no, it's I think the funny thing about the fact that I've got cold-blooded Laloon is obviously you guys saw that I tried to cold-blood Laloon Powerbang himself, even though it didn't quite work out. I think Carnage felt like it was time for him to show me how it was done, which you're about to see he does. So I'm about to hit play, and now just so I can talk you through. The thing is, because there's an an air defense next to my queen. Now, the reason the air defense is there is to help, with dragons and that sort of thing. Also to get a nice equal spread, stop loons taking down the defenses. But what it's done is meant that he can get a golem in, king and queen in relatively cheap and easy funnel. In fact, the wizard took down the arch tower itself pretty much, but he's got his golem and the king and the queen in as well. And they're just in there. There's not that many defenses that can take them down because the golem's just surviving that bit longer, especially with the king in there with all of the barbarians. The CC is getting pulled. Poison spell to greet those. A lot of my CC is infantry as well, so they will get slammed relatively quickly. And the queen now is in a position where she has got a skelly trap coming at her, but once he's popped that ability and gets the DE storage down, the AD is already gone. He's going to get the arch tower as well, and you can see he's just dropping the hounds down quite close together in terms of time, and just doing a huge sort of initial swarm of loons to target quite a number of defenses. Bearing in mind he would have known where my Teslas were because of Powerbang's attempt on my base. Coming in with a third hound on the second AD, and he's got the fourth hound on the second AD as well, just trying to rush those loons in onto my onto the inner wave of defenses so that the hound can push through in the end. Yes, it's going to die before it really properly sits on top of the air defense for long, but that final rage spell pushing those loons onto the air defense is going to get it down nice and quick. The fact that all those loons have split up nicely as well meant that the wizard tower wasn't going to do too much damage, and he has got an extra couple of loons right for the back end as well, which was nice. And he's managed to sort of time that loon so it sits once the mortar's down, so it's going to sort of sit away from the main group just about. But yeah, loads of pups left, extra loon down the bottom side as well. Just a really nice clean raid, and it's good to see some of the more old school strategies. Like, I mean, there was a huge wave of cold-blooded and shattered Larloon, but after the sort of the installment of the sweepers and people realizing how versatile Goho and AQ Walks and Govaho was, almost Larloon dipped. Then the max attack sort of brought it back, but it's good to see the old school method of the cold-blooded Larlin, because if you can get an air defense, the king, the queen, sorry, not the king, just the air defense and the queen and the CC down at the early part of the raid, then yes, you potentially could open it up to a relatively easy Larloon. Because once you've got the hang of dropping the hounds and loons down and pretty much gutter bay, you can really do some serious damage with a Larloon attack. What were your thoughts?
I like the raid, and the fact that he held those two loons back. I think those were there for that wizard tower on the back end, but he saw that his loons were all spread, and he wasn't really at risk of losing the whole pack, so he saved them for cleanup, which I thought that was kind of smart.
Yeah, it always
to
helps.
cut down on the time.
Exactly.
So, cool, man. Well, we'll move down to the Holy. He has a notoriously difficult base to crack from what I hear, and Matinho is going to go in and take him out on a cleanup attack. So one thing is, it's rolling right now. So one thing that I liked about this raid is he does an old school lure. Now, and I can't remember the last time I've actually seen a lure where you go in with a few hogs, take out a defense, get in there and trigger the clan castle. And what do we find? But a P.E.K.K.A. and a balloon. Now, we knew this was there from the initial attack on the base, but that P.E.K.K.A. he decides to bring it outside by anchoring the archer up top and dropping a couple witches in behind to go ahead and swarm it with skeletons. So I guess if you want to take those big herking swings, make sure it's just on a little bag of bones that isn't going to really care too much. So the queen comes in behind, takes out the P.E.K.K.A. No big deal there. They switch to the balloon and get that taken out as well. And then just a normal shattered entry from the top. Something that we kind of looked at a little bit on Maddie's channel was the jump spell's ability to take apart a base. And I felt like this base in particular was vulnerable to multiple jump spells due to the compartments all connecting and being fairly small, relatively speaking, compared to some of the newer designs, I suppose. Gets in, though, with the delayed king, and everything's looking pretty good. That jump spell, the second one, goes down to access the queen position and also open up the core and other parts of the base. The golem does trigger the double giant bomb on the left side of the base, and there's only one left now. But he's already sending hogs from that upper right side. to support his kill squad and keep them up as long as possible. And then just doing a true surgical on the base, dropping in a few hogs per each defense. And then he's got a couple heal spells left as well. He drops one there for his hogs to share. A small group breaks off and goes through the core, which works out really nicely for him because he's able to take out some defenses pretty cheaply and with low risk. And at this point, it's just a matter of cleaning up a final few defenses here. He's got the double giant bomb that just a small group triggers, and he has a heal spell waiting for those hogs to group up in the last part of this base, as well as a poison to take out the skeletons that are chasing that group of hogs. So really nice job to Matinho. He's got the wizards working both sides of that trash ring, as you will see in the next raid why it's important to do this. But those hogs will help finish cleaning up the base, and the heroes are still alive as well, and they're going to help as well. So really nice raid to Matinho. Awesome job taking down a tough base.
I think he did a really nice smooth drop, and people, it's easy to write off this phrase, that doing a smooth and getting the right number of hog drops onto the defenses and then timing your heal spells well makes such a huge difference in the raid. And you can see that how he was able to almost quickly push through the defenses. And almost he'd identified that the second layer of defense, there was a lot of sweepers, and he was able to hold back that first heal spell for such a long time that by the time that the hogs were in it, most of the base was down, and then the second heal spell was just almost just to ease him into the 3-star, which I found really nice.
I find that is anytime you can extend a heal spell, excuse me, and get a little bit more real estate. I mean, it's a butterfly effect, but in a positive, way. You can kind of extend the distance that your hogs are going at full health, and even if it doesn't last for the whole length of the base like it did in this raid, it's going to help you get that 3-star on a difficult base. Maybe if you only had 2 heals to use. So nice job to Matinho. All right, so. Go ahead, Maddie.
I was just going to say, I thought it was as well, particularly on a base that is very difficult. We've experienced in other arranged scrims there to 3-star. The Holy has got one of the tougher bases in the EE lineup. Obviously, we know which ones are normally the tougher ones, and his one was. So big shout out to Matinho there for dropping the 3-star on it in a very nice, making it look very easy, actually. So impressive work.
Awesome. All right, we're going to take a look at Geese Scott now taking on Tmettric. Love Te. Anyways, number 28 is the replay there. We'll go ahead and click the replay button and let this one roll. Now, guys, you remember I mentioned in the last raid, those wizards on the trash ring are a key, and making sure that you drop those after the hogs, take their initial run by. Pay attention to that in this raid. You're going to notice the suicide drags come down. He messes up the order and drops his dragon in first, so it does eat a seeking air mine, but no matter. He gets the balloon in second, provides a brief fleeting moment of tanking for his dragon, but that's going to do just enough to let him get that queen. She goes down, but they won't get a whole lot of extra value there, and then he's just going to send in a shattered entry from the bottom of the base there with 2 golems and then some wizards to create the funnel. And what they're targeting is that double bomb potential behind the air defense and in front of the wizard tower, that diagonal set that we felt was definitely there. This was a first hit on the base, but they're just going to get into the base very nicely with a jump spell here, very clean, not having to worry about any wall breaker fails or anything like that. And then following it up with the heroes, and notice again the P.E.K.K.A coming out of the clan castle. The EE did a great job of mixing it up, so you didn't know what you were going to get when they come out. A lot of clan castle compositions are really predictable, and like when everybody's using, a dragon and 2 loons, something like that, it makes it very easy to deal with and very predictable. So the king and queen are still at full health. They finally go in, trigger the first double giant bomb set. And at this point, the queen splits off, and she's going to help take out the second double giant bomb, which is between the air defense and the expo over there on the right. So watch her work. And then the hogs from the left come in. They stand in a heel, and they're going to work through that whole section that is basically being tanked by the kill squad there. So really nice job with that. Just really picks apart this base. He still has 11 hogs in the bag, and he's going to get through more than half the base with that first deployment. And then a giant comes down to do a little bit of tanking for him, and then the hogs are taking out the mortar. They'll hop the wall onto the cannon up there, and he'll finally deploy his last group of hogs on the bottom right. He's going to encounter a double Tesla there, so he'll have to drop a heal pretty quickly to go ahead and keep that group of hogs up. But it's a fairly large group, so you want to make sure that they don't die. And then the remainder of his initial deployed hogs group up on that right side absolute ton of hogs left. He loses a few to spring traps here, but the skeletons are all down at this point. Now, guys, look at the wizards where they're deployed. He does not drop any on the left side, so that's going to come back to bite him. He's got 37 seconds there, and he's got to wait now for the wizards and hogs to work all the way back around, counterclockwise around, rather than just dropping that wizard on the dark elixir drill. So that makes all the difference. We'll go ahead and watch the rest of this. Maddie, you have any thoughts on this raid?
Yeah, it was for me it was such a beautiful raid. Like kill squad just so effective. It could have done with a potential second jump, which I mentioned to you previously. But yeah, I mean the way he got all the hogs to converge in onto those heal spells, all that was so good. He got all the hard part done and then just forgot to drop sort of a wizard on the opposite side to the hogs, which is as you know, the standard rule of thumb. And it just came back and really bit him. And the amount of health left on that drill, all he've had to done is just drop anything over there earlier in the raid, and he'd have walked away with an easy 3-star, and it would have been a very nice 3-star as well. Just because I
Indeed.
thought the hog drop was just lovely.
I felt like it was a bit of a shame, because it was such a nice raid, and to not end up walking away with the 3 was a little bit unfortunate. And that happened to so many of our guys. We ended up with 6 or 7 98 or 99% 3 or 2 stars, or even 1 stars this war. Not 3 stars. They were fails. So I wasted way too many attacks. I didn't even count how many 90% plus, but just the ones that were 1% away. Just absolutely painful. So speaking of those, let's watch the last raid that I'm going to show right now, and this is going to be an attack from me. This is my second attack, and this is on number 17, East Bay Rag. So I'm clicking the replay button, and I'm going to hit pause real quick, to just kind of run you through my thoughts on this one, since I did think them all by myself. I didn't spend a lot of time doing any extracurricular fancy stuff, no AQ walks, no suicide drags, nothing like that. So I was quite shocked, if you look at the time, that I ran out of time. It was a straightforward shattered entry. I brought a few Valkyries to kind of help, get everything in to take out 2 heroes that I was going to be encountering. There's a double bomb there between the sweeper and the cannon that's by that queen, and I knew that I was going to be encountering both the queen and the king. So I was thinking, well, better take them out with some Valks. And I don't know that there's a double bomb there. I can't remember if in the initial attack it wasn't uncovered, but I thought that it was definitely, there was potential there. I know there's a double bomb between the air defense and the archer tower, but I believe there's some singles in this base as well. So I believe I misspoke there initially, but my plan was to basically jump spell on top of that air sweeper, break in, after the golems and wizards that created my funnel, sending my heroes kind of delayed, or at least my king and my Valkyries delayed a little bit to keep them up as long as possible. And then the key building I wanted to take out was that archer tower that's in the core, to remove the pathing to the double giant bomb that was uncovered during the initial raid. So I'm going to go ahead and click play, and we'll go ahead and watch this thing unfold.
Just have to say, I really, your attack, your approach, and everything on this base really sort of makes sense to me. It's the sort of attack that I like to do myself. I mean, you can see entry point, just getting in, and you can use a jump spell so deep to open up so many parts of the base. And the fact that you're throwing Valkyries in, because there's so many sort of defenses in on the inner layer, that you can get some serious value from your kill squad, which you've clearly identified. I think you got a little bit unlucky at the start with the arch tower hitting your, which you're going to see soon, with the arch tower landing on your queen, which it always doesn't annoys me when that happens, 'cause it's like
It seems like she's just a half tile too close or something, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
she takes a little bit of damage there, but the kill squad's done their job. They've got in, they've killed both heroes. The only other thing I'm trying to accomplish right now is getting that archer tower taken out, which should happen any second now. They target it, and it is down. So now the pathing to the double bomb is removed. And at this point, I've trickled in some hogs, and we see a single bomb does pop up there. I don't panic. I drop the heal spell where I had initially planned, so those hogs can join up and get healed up. And they're just working their way through. So a giant tanks that lower left side. A bunch of hogs target the defenses. Everything's going to just pass straight in. And I know, because there was a single and a double already, uncovered, I knew that there was another single down here. And, no worries. Just another heal spell to deal with the Expo and Teslas where I'm going to be stopping for a little bit to fight and deal with some high damage buildings. You'll notice I've already got my cleanup started up on the upper left. So the hogs aren't even through the base yet. The cleanup's working right now. A little bit of spring trap action, but I wait to drop my top wizard there until my hogs are in range of that archer tower, and that cleanup has started as well. So I've gone as fast as I can. You might have noticed that I have 3 goblins still left in the bag. Um, unfortunate.
They'll
Uh,
haunt you forever, mate.
it will. It's unfortunate because, I just recently switched to an iPad to raid on after I've raided on my phone now for a year and a half. But I didn't see them. I switched to use my poison spell. I had to scroll to get to the poison, and then I didn't end up scrolling back to see that I had the goblins. And notice, it might not have made a huge difference because the bottom of this base had mostly barracks and spell factories and army camps. But if it could have just saved one hit from my hogs, it might have worked. But check out the queen here. She's looking at the dark elixir drill, passed down to get that gold mine, and I'm thinking, all right, we're good. She's going to go ahead, take out that upper gold mine. Oh, wait, she's going to swing a right, go
Bang.
stand on top of the double giant bomb, and that's that. There's half health left on that gold mine right now. She did get a couple shots on it, and 14 seconds left to make it up, and I've got, 5 hogs left or so, and they're going to hustle. We'll zoom in on that gold mine. And unfortunately, let's see, do they get any shots left on it? Oh, yes, they do. And they get it down to a sliver of health left, and I end up with a 99% 2 stars. So failing on the cleanup on what I thought personally, it might be a little biased, but I thought it was a pretty well executed raid with not a lot of errors.
If only you had a swag jump with those goblins, you could have
Ugh.
just think.
Oh, I know it, man. So anyways, very frustrating. That kind of summed up the war for us. I felt like a lot of us were in that same boat. There's been wars in the past where I was a little bit disappointed with our overall performance, but this one, while it was disappointing that we didn't get a better outcome, I was happy with a lot of the raids that I saw that didn't turn out right, even though, we didn't end up getting the 3 stars. So a little bit of a goofy war for us, but hey, we did our best, and the better team won. So congrats to Emphatic Elite and you, Maddie. Anything you'd like to close with before I sign us out here?
Yeah, I just wanted to say a huge thank you and shout out to firstly the guys that obviously helped with the matchup process of getting from both your side and ours of getting all the weights. I mean, I don't envy the people that do that. It's not I don't myself do it, so but I know it's a pain in the bum to get that all matched up. And a massive shout to all the guys at Whiz on a Face. It was an awesome war. I don't think the score accurately represents how close it was. A lot of 90 plus raids all over the place, and just so many near misses. And a shout out to you, Powerbang, as well, because you've been absolute pleasure to collaborate with, to talk to, about, to and just to be involved with. I thought a lot of live attacks, although they didn't quite work out, we didn't quite manage to 3-star each other. It was an awesome way of doing it. I mean, you probably felt it as well, just the fact that we're both almost there listening and while the other one attacks, it's got a nice awkwardness about it. But yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed these videos, these recaps. And to be honest, if you I know on my channel I've got a recap of the Emphatic Elite attacks. But if you did, if you did think, oh, I don't want to go to Matty's channel because I love Powerbang. Powerbang is on doing the recap with me in a similar dual commentary fashion, so you can still fulfill your Powerbang desires over on mine.
Oh no. Oh
yeah,
no.
exactly.
Don't fulfill those people. Don't listen to them. Who is this guy on my channel? Anyways, Maddie, thank you so much for showing up, for doing the collabs with me. It's been a lot of fun. And for those of you guys that are not subscribed to Maddie, please do so. There's going to be a link both in the description and the outro of this video that will cue you onto his channel. Great war commentator, great strategy, a lot of really good stuff over there. And most specifically, the most recent thing that we've done is a collaboration for this particular war. So if you haven't seen that, do go check it out. It will be up at the Clashing with Maddie YouTube channel. So thank you so much for coming on today to hang out with me. And I believe that'll pretty much do it for this recap, guys. So for now, this is Powerbang signing out till next time. Thanks to Maddie and Emphatic Elite, and take care, y'all.